the struggles you have had to go through being an athlete, and how do athletes make a living? A lot of struggles. Who asked me that question? Mohammed. Yeah, what are the struggles? Let's keep it real, guys. Athletic is hard. So what I would say first and foremost is that you've got to love this sport. You've got to love it because it's hard. It is hard, but it's very rewarding in so many different ways. I've got a video where I talk about all the different ways that you can be successful in athletics, even if you don't become a professional. There's so many aspects that it gives. Like, first and foremost, I'll say, especially if you're so young, you're still a teenager, right? Enjoy what you're doing, because otherwise you're not going to stick it out. Because I think I said it in my last month, even though you might be a sprinter, the journey is more like a marathon than a sprint. So you've got to be prepared for that. Like, some people, especially when you're like 14, 15, 16, 17, you're thinking, oh yeah, tomorrow I want to make it. And some people, they develop early, so they become a professional athlete when they're very, very young. But sometimes, most of the time, you need to give yourself at least 10 years. So first of all, the first challenge is this. What someone asked before, the first challenge is your mind. You've got to have become very resilient, have a lot of tenacity, because like I said, this is sport. Injuries happen. It's very frustrating when you can't train the way you want to train. You're not hitting times you used to hit, or you have a goal and you're not quite there yet. You have to be able to persevere. You have to be able to keep having that belief that you can get better. Keep having that tenacity to keep working, even if you're not seeing anything yet. Even the fact of having to train for months, let's say September, October, November, December, before you compete in January, that's if you do indoors. Not everyone does indoors. So if you do indoors, you might compete January to March. If you don't, you've got basically 6 months of training before you even compete. That already is hard. You've got to go through the winter, the snow, the rain, like all of that before you even compete. So this, first of all, is the biggest challenge, right? Being able to get through the injuries. Sometimes the injuries are like small niggles that linger. Sometimes they're big injuries that just take you out and you have that whole thing to go through. So there's that side. If you're an athlete who never get injured, then you're like 1 in a million, okay? At some point, injuries are part of the journey, unfortunately. As much as possible, you try to reduce that. Sometimes you get through like a long period without injuries, and we praise God, right? But you have to know that it's sport. That's what happens. You're trying to push your body to its maximum. Take it to places it's never been before. So that is a challenge, right? Then it's just the challenge, the fact that life happens. So whether it's loss, whether you lose a family member, whether you lose a job, whether things happen in life that can affect you, affect your mood, affect what you're going through. Financially, that can be very difficult, because whether it's from paying for facilities, paying for coaching, paying for equipment, right? And if you don't have a sponsor, it can be an extra weight, paying to get to competition, to travel, to stay over, like it's money. And if you're then trying to balance a job so that you can pay for that stuff, that's another challenge, where you're now trying to juggle training and work, which is what someone asked before. You're tired, you can't train as well because you're tired, and you're having to juggle that. So you see, there's a lot of things that you have to balance, right? We're all going through, like, life happens, and unfortunately we live in a fallen world, so things happen, bad things happen in our lives, and we have to learn how to overcome them. Like, use some of the what you might perceive as negative emotions and feelings and experiences and turn them into positive things, you know, let it out on the track. Use track can be a nice outlet, you know, for mental health, for like even emotion, releasing stress, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things to overcome. It can be very rewarding, and that's the thing. It can be like when you actually do run those personal bests, you know, get to experience amazing things like traveling the world to compete, or competing for your country, or you know, you're in an amazing group and you look forward to being with them, then it can be really, really rewarding. So like I said, right now, just make sure that you love it.